Hello, and we are live. I am DW Hits from Fedowar Press, and today we are talking with Asta Geil. And am I pronouncing that correctly?
It's Geil, but
Geil.
yeah,
Okay, fantastic. Sorry, I'm gonna mess it up more than once. So,
it's no
the
worries. It's hard.
okay,
I've
just
heard worse pronunciations, so
fantastic. And so Asta is a author with Fedowar Press. Her book Dear Creator is scheduled to come out later this year. So we're going to talk today with her about her book and her writing. And Asta, tell us about a little bit about you as an author.
yeah. So I'm Danish, which I think it says in the description. But yeah, I'm from Denmark. But I kind of learned English a lot when I was growing up because in Denmark there's not that many people. So we don't use Danish for like movies and books and stuff like that. They aren't always translated. And I like to say that I learned English by playing Pokemon, actually. But yeah, so I'm just totally in love with English, and yeah, I study linguistics at the University of Edinburgh, and I just love everything with words. So, but as an author, I definitely gravitate towards the darker stories. Like the Dear Creator is a dark fantasy. I don't I don't read too much horror, like straight horror, but I definitely like the sort of darker. I love zombies and everything to do with that. I also love sort of abstract surrealisms. So
Mhm.
anything magical realism. I actually tried when I was younger. I was trying to write realism, and every time I would try to write something, I would just suddenly be like, okay, and now there's a monster that comes from the cabinet, or now like the sky falls down or something crazy, and I'd be like, no, 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 it's realism. So now when I'm older, I've just accepted that I like to write things that are a little bit strange
Mhm.
and yeah, just like to write about weird stuff. I think words or like novels, they should surprise you, and yeah, I think a good surprise is good. So I definitely gravitate towards that.
I
Yeah.
think that's fantastic. I think that's one of the reasons why personally I enjoy being a pantser. I can't plan too much out because then I don't surprise myself. I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of like,
I tend to plan everything out, but then I still surprise myself, and it ends up like nothing like I planned it.
oh, that's fantastic. Well, they say a plan only works until you get to the first page, right?
Mm, yeah, definitely. Maybe like second chapter, and then I'm off.
Well, that's fantastic. So tell me a little bit about Dear Creator and what was your inspiration behind it, and a little bit about what the story's about.
So I actually started writing the book when I was 16 and I was living in America, which is so long ago. I'm 23 now. So it's been long on the way and I wrote several books in the meantime, but I kept coming back to it because I really love the story.
Hmm.
So it takes place in another universe where there's a god who lives with all his people. He lives in like the capital city and he comes out and blesses people and everything's great. And then one day he disappears and 22 years later is when the book takes place. 22 years later, when maybe he's come back because a lot of weird stuff is happening. So there's plagues going on, and there are zombies coming. There's tsunamis. There's just a lot of people dying in really strange ways. There's even like monsters and a lot of weird stuff going on. And the people in this universe sort of question because well, they know that God is real. So how do they deal with that? Like, is that okay, or what can they do against it? Because like how do you even fight a god, and what do you do when you're in this situation because you feel hopeless? And
Hmm.
yeah, and I think a lot of the inspiration was that I was kind of thinking about writing this when I was 16, and I talked to a friend about it, and he just looked at me in the eye and he was like, but that's not even interesting because if God decided to ruin the world, then so what? Like he made it so he can destroy it. So that's not even like an interesting premise. And I was like, no, but like for me, like I always hated authority, so I would always like talk back to the teacher. So I was just like, no, I would fight God if he came and ruined the whole world. It gets a little bit political, but I think the book is sort of about those philosophical questions maybe, but while
Hmm.
also being very much a fantasy story with zombies and a lot of cool stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things I really love about the story is that it's written by the son of the god,
Mm-hmm.
and he's sort of a weird figure. He walks around and he sort of knows things that's kind of weird that he knows. Kind of like if you read, I don't know if you read The Book Thief.
No, not yet. It's on my list.
Oh, you should definitely read that. But that one, The Book Thief, is written by Deaf, as he's going through and looking at World War II, and this is kind of inspired by that because this guy did. He's sort of a demigod, and he just walks around and he follows these two girls, and he makes kind of weird comments, and then he's like, "Oh no, but this isn't about me. Like I'm not supposed to talk about myself. Just go back to the story." And I had a lot of fun writing it. I think he was a really fun character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It definitely is. It's a lot of fun, and it raises some interesting questions too. Like you mentioned, like if I made it, why can't I destroy it? And
Hmm.
but at the same time, you have people living there, and they have their own lives, and they should have their own right to live their own lives. And
Right.
what do you do about that? And then you have the struggle between the events that are happening and your characters, and um, there's a lot going on, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Happy to hear that. Yeah.
Definitely. So tell us, what are you working on right now?
So, I mean, right now I'm working on my exams because I'm at university and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get those handed in. And then I'm working on the final edits for Dear Creator, which has been a really fun process doing all the edits. And that one's going really along really well. And then I think we have line edits to do as well, and then
Mm-hmm.
proofreading, and then it'll be released this summer. And that'll be really exciting.
It is very exciting.
I also have forgot that. I also have another story plan that I'm gonna hopefully get to work on this summer. But yeah, I've done all the planning. Let's see if it actually ends up like that. But that one's also probably gonna be sort of a dark fantasy scene because I really fall in love with that genre. I didn't even know that was a genre before I was getting published, and someone was like, "Oh, it's dark fantasy." Um, but yeah, that one's going to take place on the island, and I think it's also going to be a little bit theological. It's going to be about sacrifices, and it's going to be sort of about questioning rules and what are you okay with and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that one's going to be really exciting as well.
Well, that's fantastic. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I can't wait like we said, working on the Dear Creator behind the scenes, and I can't wait to get that packaged up and out there to our readers because I'm sure they're going to love it.
Yeah.
Um, so so let's see here. So what exciting things do you see in the future for yourself and your writing?
For myself, I definitely see that I'm getting married in less than 2 months.
And
So that's pretty cool.
congratulations.
Yeah. So just doing like exams and wedding planning and a novel and everything on top of each other. So that's really great. But yeah, I'm just really excited about Q Creator being published. I think we get the cover art probably soon in a couple of weeks, and
Hmm.
so that's going to be really cool. And then I have a bunch of stuff planned this summer for promoting the book and hopefully getting as many people to hear about it as possible.
Definitely. And that's also one that I would encourage any of our watchers out there, if they are interested. We do have a sign up on the website for ARC reviewers, and if you are interested in advanced reader copies and becoming an ARC reviewer for Fedora Press and possibly getting an insight in a little bit early, definitely bounce on over to the website and sign up. And going along with that, all of Asta's information is also in the description down below, along with her social media. So definitely take a look at that as well. But yeah, the art is being worked on currently, and I can't wait to get that back in our hands and take a look at how that's going, because I'm excited to see how that's going to come out. And the whole process is really exciting.
Definitely.
So tell us, and like I mentioned, your social media stuff is all down in the comments below. What's the best way for our other authors or readers to get in touch with you if they wanted?
It's probably Bookstagram or like Instagram. I have a Bookstagram on Instagram. It's what the hip cool people have. You can also contact me on things like Facebook and Twitter and stuff. I'm not that much on social media, so I can't promise that I'll respond right away, but I'll definitely get on that.
Well, you have a lot going on. You have a lot going. I mean, outside of the internet, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't blame you at all. Some
Yeah.
days I
Well,
wish I could turn it.
most writers have full-time jobs, so at least
Mhm,
I don't have a full-time job. I'm pretty impressed with everyone who's writing books and then also, having a family and full-time jobs on the side.
mhm. Yeah, it's a tough racket, and definitely takes a lot of effort to get through. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you coming on and telling everyone about your writing and about your book.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
And thank you everybody out there for watching. And like I said, take a look in the description down below, and please go ahead and follow Asta over on Instagram and on Twitter. And you guys have a wonderful weekend.